So I woke up today, with the idea I was just going to wake up, probably play my game a little bit, get on YouTube, crack an idea, record a little bullshit, go on about my day. But while I was eating my breakfast chili, because I'm a man child who doesn't know how to, eat properly, I saw a video of Coffeezilla that dropped an absolute bombshell on a guy named Ryan P., who is a merchandise director or managing director of a place called Revolt and also a founder of a thing called Misfits. Now, it alleges a lot that he is a massive creep and complete pervert, and none of these allegations are very light in nature. They are heavy, and honestly, some of the stuff that he speaks about, which I'm sure he PG'd it a little bit, is still quite disgusting. To get the worst out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and speak on the second half of his video first, because I think it needs more attention than what he was able to give it at the time, because he deals with scams, and he still brings to light a very big scam that has to do with Revolt. But I would like to talk about Ryan himself. These are allegations. You know how people with money like to get suey. So, like I like to say, until we have real full, proof brought to light, legally speaking, I would like everybody to definitely put, your thinking caps on and try to make your own, form your own opinion on this. I try to keep that equally across the board, even though I have formed my own opinion. I'm about to go ahead and express it now. So I watched it and realized that Coffeezilla, while also doing bangers, as always, brought to light something a little different that he's not used to doing, which had to do with this dude's pervertedness. This man literally would go mess with people while they're in the shower. One of the most, super exposed points of your time in life is when you're in the shower or going to the bathroom. That's the two times where, quite literally, other than in your bed, where you would have your guard down at the most. This wasn't one guy, two guys, three guys. No, this was men and women. He would wait till they got to the shower, get in there, and start caressing them in more than one way. That's the PG version. He would also do the same while they were trying to go to the bathroom, which is absolutely disgusting. And like I've stated, my opinion with people that there is a prominent physical part of a victim or victimization of somebody, this is one of those times. While I never felt bad if people like this were to lose their platform or any form of financial gain that they're supposed to have, I could care less if this person ever made money again. Like I said, we'll use Vitaly for instance. I also saw my last video was stating a lot of comments saying that he's faking and trolling people. I think it's kind of shitty to pretend that you are homeless. Being somebody that has lived in a vehicle before and had to live out of my vehicle and crash on couches, basically as homeless as I could get, as anybody I know is, other than full-on people living under bridges, it's a shitty thing to do. And Vitaly should feel ashamed if that's the case. But this guy has been getting compared to Harvey Weinstein. Why? Because he's doing all these things he's accused of while in a prominent position of power. He has quite literally gone down the whole, if you do this and come in here to this little private thing, I can make you whatever, give you financial gain. He would try to pay people for nudes. He tried to pay people for explicit things. It even got to the point there was a 16-year-old who he allegedly has groomed or attempted to groom. It's stuff like this when little perverts get into positions of power and do dirty things. He essentially done everything except for the classic quote of, "Wow, you're really mature for your age." Now, what he did to the 16-year-old is a little quick if you blink and you would miss it type thing. It's where essentially he was like, "Oh, would you like to marry me?" And she was like, "Well, I'm only 16. He said, "All right, come back in 2 years." Apparently this was a fan of his, and I think it's weird that these people have fans that they're willing to be disgusting towards. So she also, about a year later, she's still not 18. He talks about, "Well, I retweeted your tweet. Do I get nudes now?" She said, "Well, that's illegal." He said, "Don't worry, I won't tell." I mean, given its allegations, and you can only go by people's word, but it's pretty disgusting if it's true. I'm not trying to discredit the victims of this. I'm not. When there's so many victims, it's hard to deny it. Deny allegations, that is. And it's just I haven't heard about this, so it's kind of flying under the radar. And there's a lot of high-end YouTubers attached to this too, like Mr. Beast. He's attached to this. It's only his merch, but he's attached to it. So essentially, from what the allegation is, There was an invoice stating that, say, a t-shirt was like $8. And the guy is so bad with money that he needed to try to skim some money off of it. He put the invoice down as $12. So Mr. Beast would pay 12, which I don't know what part of that makes it a scam. I call me brain dead, but I thought marking up prices is a thing. But I assume there's a legal reason behind why this is not a thing. And still, the scumbag's also a predator. So we'll go ahead and give Coffeezilla every benefit of the doubt. I'm an idiot, and he's way smarter than me. But essentially, the invoices were markups, and he was pocketing the money because he keeps blowing his money on said people. He was even in an interview where he's stating all he likes to do is give the money to other people. He likes to give them extravagant things and make people feel good, which is a disgusting term now that you would know what he's been doing. And to top it off, he basically has, spent all his money that he owes these big YouTubers, Twitch streamers, merch money. Essentially, they would give him the merchandise and rights. He would go to, well, not all of them, but they would let him, do their merch, and he wouldn't pay them back. Some got paid, but a lot didn't. And the same thing, they also did not actually give them the clothes. The clothes would be held in a warehouse. There was YouTubers whose merch was still locked up, and basically they got donated. It's a lot of stuff, a lot of things to unpack with a nasty human being like this. Like I usually say, kind of be careful because people like this like to sue people over any allegations being spoke about them. And I'm only speaking that these are allegations because there's nothing that's been brought, I would say, legally to the light. So far right now, these are allegations from somebody, I would say, with journalistic integrity. There's only a few people that I will listen to and kind of take what they say at face value, and Coffeezilla is one of them. He's definitely went up against people like Logan Paul and proven, time and time again he knows what he's talking about. And he's worked well with other YouTubers that I do think about fondly and watch their content, especially, stuff with drama, stuff like this, stuff that I would consider journalistic in value. And it is definitely stuff that I'm glad is not a dead thing where people actually investigate, look into things. I'm too stupid and lazy to look into these things. The only reason why I speak on it is to get the word out. That's the whole point why. These are things I haven't looked into, but I watch it and I'm like, well, I want to do my little fair share and at least get the word out. So, like I say, it would be tagged it below so you can, look it up yourself. Coffeezilla be in there. But it's things like this that I think that shouldn't go on the radar. These are people that have gained a certain, a form of power and they abuse it. I think it's disgusting. People like me that are both being a content creator and also that works a full-time job. So I'm in between on both. I consume all this content while being fans of some of these YouTubers, but I'm also doing content, which I like to do, where I actually do get a handful of views or a lot of views, depending on the video, but there's still a chance there's one view that's one person that I can at least, let see to, be careful. You got to watch people like this and definitely never get involved in somebody that would tell you to do something that would make you uncomfortable or, impede your better judgment, especially with, things like that in alcohol. It could have life-altering consequences. I'm not trying to demean the victims in this. I hope all of them can, not get over it, but get, find a better avenue to, to feel better, because it's definitely not something you're going to get over very quickly or easily. And, I'm sorry that happened to all of you, all the people that are, I'm sorry that it's happened to all the victims, and I hope they can all, seek the guidance or the help that they need. And I hope this dude, if all these allegations are right, I hope that the justice system gets him. The last I've seen, Coffeezilla said the last he heard, he was at an airport. So hopefully he's not fleeing. I would feel really foot in mouth if we find out he fled and somehow had enough money to go live somewhere and try to be off the radar. But yeah, Coffeezilla, way to go, man. A++ on your video. Glad that you are still, sticking to bringing to light shitty behaviors. It's really awesome. He'll probably never see this, but still appreciate it anyway. If you like my video, please like, share, subscribe, get the word out about this deranged person, all these allegations that are alleged. That's about all I can say about that. Y'all have a good one.